everyone, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now today, I want to take everybody back to a movie that I blogged back in February 2017, Rock Dog. Now, to me, despite a few flaws, like the concept being slightly similar to other animal movies like Kung Fu Panda, Zootopia, and Sing, I thought Rock Dog was a pretty good, but not a great animated movie. I mean, it had great songs, memorable characters, and groundbreaking computer animation. And, of course, it's still pretty good. And it's also a lot better than, well, other films that were released during 2017, like the two Lego films, and as well as Boss Baby and Captain Underpants, but still not as good compared to Coco or My Little Pony. Now, imagine my surprise when I heard news of a direct-to-video sequel. Well, believe it or not, I was actually pretty curious, and after buying the movie from Amazon and giving it a watch, I was surprised. So, released a DVD and Blu-ray on June 15th, 2021. The movie is Rock Dog 2: Rock Around the Park. Now, let's get started. Taking place exactly 1 year after the original movie, Bodi and his band, True Blue, have become locally famous in the village of Snow Mountain. But when a musical mogul named Lang gives them the opportunity to tour with pop sensation Little Fox, Bodi and his friends learn that fame comes at a price, and they ultimately discover that only by staying true to yourself can you unleash the power of rock and roll. So, what are my thoughts on the movie? Well, to be quite honest, I enjoyed it. Sure, it's not better than the original, but it's a much better animated movie than what DreamWorks gave us this month. But now, let's move on to Mustang notes. The film was directed by Mike Baldo, whom a decade ago directed Barbie's Perfect Christmas movie, and 3 years ago, he was a supervising producer on the Legend of the Three Caballeros show. The studios responsible for the computer animation is Huayi Brothers Media, whom will be helping with Blazing Samurai, along with Splash Entertainment, who had a hand in making All I Want for Christmas Is You, along with, the Norm of the North films. I swear that someone is gonna force me to blog the first Norm movie sooner or later. Anyway, for a direct-to-DVD/Blu-ray movie, the animation is pretty much equally as good as the first films, not only with the characters, but also with the city and Snow Mountain. Plus, I like that this movie has some character development. Also, I think the new songs like Horizons, This Is My Song, and Take Me Home are actually pretty good. As for the actual story itself, well, I feel like as if it's been done before. Many times. Think about it. It's about a band that goes on tour, then the leader gets manipulated by the mogul. Next thing you know, the band breaks up and the leader goes solo, but then realizes he's made a big mistake and tries to fix it. Plus, in my opinion, the ending climax kind of feels a bit reminiscent to the ending of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. And now to talk about the voice actors who brought every character to life. By the way, I must warn you that all the actors from the first film have been replaced in this movie, and I'm kind of surprised that most of them are magical pony actors. Our main character, Bodi, is voiced by Graham Hamilton. To me, Bodi is similar, but a little different from the first film. Yes, he still has that optimistic attitude that we all love, as well as that amazing fiery blue energy that he summons while playing his guitar. Plus, he has a strong desire to share his band's music with the world. However, the only flaw with Bodi is that he's easily taken advantage of while being manipulated. Next we have Bodi's bandmates, Dharma and Gurmer. Dharma is voiced by Ashley Ball, best known as Applejack and Rainbow Dash, while Gurmer is voiced by Andrew Francis, aka Shining Armor. You know, I find these guys equally as memorable as in the previous movie. However, I feel like Dharma sticks out the most out of the two, due to her willing to help the other musicians save Rock and Roll Park from becoming a parking lot, and she also serves as a voice of reason for Bodi. Next up is Ozzy, a robot who served as Angus Scattergood's butler and companion. Speaking of which, Angus Scattergood is absent in this movie due to him visiting his mom. Anyway, Ozzy serves as a minor supporting character for True Blue, driving the band in a tour bus that Germer repainted, and he assists them in the recording studio. Next we come to Bodi's dad, Campa, voiced by Brian Drummond, who voiced Mr. Cake, Filthy Rich, and Owie Zodel on My Little Pony, and he voiced in Crypto the Superdog show. Now, in my eyes, Campa is still a strict and structured dad, plus, I like that he reminds Bodi to stay true to himself. However, I think he can be a little bit too supportive while bringing tourists to Snow Mountain. Plus, there are times where Campa references other famous rock songs. Next we have Lang, a music mogul sheep voiced by Jason Simpson. Now, in my opinion, like most music producers and managers out there, Lang seems like a hip and enthusiastic character. But trust me, it's all a cover-up for what he really is. A literal wolf in sheep's clothing. Yes, folks, Lang is in fact Linux in disguise. For those who don't remember, in the first movie, Linux was an evil wolf who was feuding with Bodi's dad Campa, and he planned to eat all the sheep who live on Snow Mountain. But in this movie, a year after being defeated by Bodi, Linux has been haunted by a mix of experiencing Bodi's musical passion and an old childhood memory of wanting to be a singer, but he was sadly ridiculed for his lack of musical talent. So, his evil plan in this film is to manipulate Bodi and True Blue during their tour with Little Fox, absorb Bodi's power, and use it to seize control of rock and roll. Another character to talk about is Lil Fox, aka Frances, voiced by Kathleen Barr, whom was the great and powerful Trixie Lulamoon and the evil Queen Chrysalis, as well as voicing in Ed, Edd and Eddy, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer the movie from 1998, and Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Now, in my eyes, Frances has got to be my favorite new character in this movie. Plus, despite her flashy appearance, I think she makes a great new friend for Bodi, and also a great new member of True Blue. Plus, her song, Celebrity, is, in my opinion, a catchy pop song. Other characters in the movie include Fleetwood Yak, voiced by Brian Dobson, a pair of teenage red pandas named Wei and Shumai, voiced by Sabrina Petrie and James Higuchi, and Bodi's grandparents, Norbu and Maydow, voiced by Kathy Westerluck and Richard Newman. And now let's move on to my final words. Overall, Rock Dog 2 Rock Around the Park is a pretty good sequel. Despite a cliched story, the CGI animation is pretty good for direct-to-DVD/Blu-ray standards. It has amazing new songs. The characters are pretty much as equally as memorable as in the first film, though a couple of them had a few flaws. Also, this movie feels like a My Little Pony convention due to most of the voice actors coming from Friendship is Magic. Now, I hear on IMDb that a third movie will be released next year in 2022, which makes me equally as curious as with this film. But until that happens, I recommend you to see this movie, whether you are hardcore rock fans or My Little Pony fans. As for my rating, I'll give this movie a 91% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me next time, where we dive into Bikini Bottom to look at SpongeBob's third movie, Mustang Power.